Okay, good morning. So, it's raining, and the river's coming up, and they're forecasting, it's been a little over flood stage, a little under the forecast. They're kind of, bouncing around, like that's pretty standard. They, depends on where the focus of the rain is, the heaviest rain, and snow levels and all that stuff. But it's just, this is weird. Everybody says, oh, the weather's weird. Never used to do this. It's always done this. It's always flooded. We've always had these high water events. We just don't get them one after another, after another, after another, after another, and now, seemingly, after another. So the main thing I want to kind of document here is where that beaver den was. That spot right there, the riprap, the rock that holds up the dike, has sloughed away. And I have tried to tell the people that are building that big home over there that's on their property, I've tried to tell them several times that this is something that probably needs to be brought to the attention of the county, because if the river busts through right there, it would just be a mess for those big mansions down there. And I'm almost to the point, I think they just think I'm nuts, which is, probably not that far from the truth, but they haven't returned any of my calls. I've left a couple messages, and I've walked over there 2 or 3 times and told the kids or workers or whatever to, if they just haven't been there when I've tried to talk to them. But if the river, now that this tree is focusing the energy, or at least some of the energy, right down there. If that log wasn't there in front of that thing, like it is, the long skinny one there, this would have broke through a long time ago, I'm sure. That right now is kind of saving their bacon, but that ain't much. If the river comes up, like they say it's gonna come up, who knows? I'm afraid it's gonna. See, the same thing happened up there around the bend. You can't see it from here, but the river got behind the riprap. There was no maintenance. It's just a big field. Nobody saw it happen, getting ready to happen, and nobody did anything. And it ripped out just hundreds of feet of bank. I mean, and that's, that was just a field. Nobody really cared, I guess, about it. And but this, if the river gets around there or gets through there, it's gonna go back into an old river channel which goes over there, and they're gonna lose that trailer over there, and they're gonna have waterfront property a whole lot closer to those houses than they ever thought they would. Anyway, I'm almost to the point to where I'm going to jump over these neighbors and go to the next neighbors and tell them about what's happening here, because I just feel like I have to say something, but at the same time, I don't want to look like a crazy neighbor. Sky is falling, Chicken Little type stuff. But I can't, if I go directly to the county, then I look like one of those neighbors that rats their neighbors out. But it's almost to the point now where I may not have any choice if they're just not going to respond. And they probably can't see it from their side. You almost have to stand down here to see what I see, or see how it might happen. But look at all this water. This is just crazy. It's just, yeah, well, you live out in the Pacific Northwest, what do they say? If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, around here, if you can't stand the rain, get out of the rainforest. But But this is kind of fun. We had about 9 inches of rain in for January in my gauge, which is a little on the high side. But now we're already into 2 inches of rain for February. It's only 4 days into the month, and that's yeah, it's getting, you know, if we have 20 inches of rain in 2 months, you know, that's starting the year off right. So there's the old channel right there, and that's where I'm afraid that river will go if it pops through there. And when it does that, it's going to go right on down to where those big mansions are. So I've tried to talk to them. At some point, I think I just have to find peace with, you know, Mother Nature's going to do. They maybe that's what they think. It's like, well, what are they going to do? I think the county would be in here really quick with some big rock and try to shore that thing up. Otherwise, they're going to have huge lawsuits on their hands, you know. Anyway, there you go. Another rainy day out in the Pacific Northwest. Fun times.